Well, today is the big day. Lionel just dropped their 2024 Volume 1 catalog, the big book. And as like everyone else, I'm very excited. There is a lot of great items in this catalog. Lionel really knocked it out of the park, brought back a lot of great classics and a few new things thrown in as well. So for this year, for this catalog, I'm going to highlight a few things that I think are particularly awesome, things that I think are going to be collectible, and what I'm going to have a really hard time trying to determine what exactly to pre-order, because you can be smart and get a few things that you like, maybe long-term investments, or you can take a loan from your house, sell a kidney, because you can drop a ton of money this year. So let's check it out on Gizmo Trains. So I'm not going to go over every single item of this catalog. There's going to be plenty of live events tonight. I know Eric's Trains is doing one at 8, Ben's Trains at 8 on Instagram. Either one of those are going to be awesome to check out. So, you know, step by step. Also Lionel, I think, is going to be doing one tomorrow, Friday the 12th. So it's going to be plenty of that, and I'm sure a podcast on M&M, which is also awesome. O-Gauge podcast, miniature models. Make sure you check it out if you don't already. So speaking of pre-orders, don't rush it. Take your time to really analyze the catalog, really look at it. You know, there's a lot of variances in details between models, even in the same type, different road names, specific details, color schemes. Really make sure that it's what you want. As always, you know, to really guarantee you the best price, go with a great dealer. You know, some of my favorites are Train Loft in Winston-Salem, Legacy Station in Georgia, TrainWorld. Great people, great prices, great pre-order prices. So check those guys out, and you can go ahead and reserve that spot. You make sure you get it. However, if you're still not sure, most of these guys do order extras. If you're not really sure if you're, you know, the details of a model, something like that. But at the end, the only way to really guarantee it is a pre-order. So let's dive in, let's check it out. So the cover, of course, tells you exactly what you're going to really find in here, which we all pretty much predicted if you saw my last video. The 20th anniversary of Polar Express, so not a huge surprise that that set's going to be in here. The Berkshires are going to be in here. So let's dive in. Hiawatha is awesome. So the triplexes, not going to touch on these. They already made the announcement months ago. If you haven't pre-ordered one by now, what are you waiting for? These are going to be awesome for Lionel with the wheel slip, the Lionel sound set. If I may be biased, if you're going to buy one and you want something a little different than the Erie, you know, Lionel has some great schemes here that are coming out with that are, you know, fantasy. But the ones from the Train Loft, man, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out on those. Jeff's doing the Tuscan Red. He's doing that Norfolk Western Blue. Those are going to be absolutely stunning. If you haven't checked them out already, give Jeff a call. He's only making 40 pieces of each color. And one of the red ones for sure is mine 100%. So 39 red, 40 blue. Jump on if you're not. Definitely would say those are going to be absolutely awesome. I'm very excited. So we get into our legacy steam locomotives. Topo Chico. This is where it's at. Ben, if you're watching, this is what I'm talking about in your live chats all the time. Topo Chico. The limes, very hard to find, but man, they're tasty. With tequila, if you're 21 and up, whew, no hangovers. Keeps you hydrated. So we start off with the Berkshires. I think obviously Lionel has for sure made these before. I don't know exactly these road names. I would assume they would. However, the one here in the bottom left, this nickel plate limited 777. Not only is that an awesome road number, 777 for good luck, but we know the orange ones that they just released were super popular. But these in the blue are going to look, I bet, fantastic and really sharp with that silver. I'm going to really strongly consider this. The only thing that may prevent me from ordering this is being, I've always wanted the Polar Express in scale, and as everybody knows, those prices are outrageous. So do I want to? I don't know. This blue's going to be awesome, but if I'm getting a Berkshire, for sure, Polar Express, so that one may make the cut. But if you're going to get one, that would be the one. Up next, the H7s. These are, I think, great looking. It's kind of a baby big boy, I would say. If you're going to get one of these, I think these tenders here, the 3-wheel trucks with this long cylindrical tender, I think look awesome. Jeff had one at Train Loft in the store as far as locomotive with that tender, and it looks really sweet in person. But they have quite a few different road names here. The only concern I would have with these engines are the details. Being as this one was 10 years old now, I would say, me personally, I need to look up some older videos and see what it looks like before I'm personally going to order one. I've had a few Lionel engines where they have the molded in details, but when you look at something like the Strasbourg we just did a video on, it has a lot of nice piping, and I know Legacy is not going to have that level a lot of times. But if I look at my cab forward here in the Lark scheme, the detailing and the piping and all the stuff on that is just mind-blowing. I mean, that's, to me, borderline Vision Line engine. So if these had something like that, I'll probably pick one up. If not, maybe not. I may skip out, especially since I bought 2 big boys this year. 460s, I think these are great value as far as the price point. You're looking at $799.99. Which means getting them on pre-order, these are likely going to be $650 maybe, $600. Really kind of a steal. Nice small locomotive, run on 031 curves. You put it on anything, any layout, and you get that Legacy detailing. So, looking at the artwork on this, I can see some separately applied details here. I think overall it's a pretty good value. For me, I think this New Jersey Central, that blue does pop. And see the NYC and Hudson River, little lower key, not quite as bright and shiny. I think if you bought something like that Berkshire in a blue, maybe go for that one. Kind of gives that triplex, eerie, Russian blue sort of vibe to it. I think it looks pretty nice. I think that's going to be a really bang for your buck engine. And then when we come to the next page, you see the Royal Blue Line. So you have this locomotive here, the Baltimore and Ohio, in, again, blue paint scheme. But you got those matching passenger cars. Those cars would go great with any of those other 2 that I just mentioned. So you can't go wrong. The prices on these wooden passenger cars from Lionel here, the $499.99, is actually, I think, pretty good steal. This one, yeah, it's going to have the detailed interiors with the figures. Pre-order again, you're probably talking $350, $400. I think that's going to be an awesome value. I have a few of these cars. We had the Aberdeen and Carolina Westerns come in. These cars have great detail. They're awesome, and you really can't go wrong getting a set of these, especially for the price. So these, I think, are great from Lionel. Can't say that about all Lionel's passenger cars. You have to use caution with buying some of those. All right, moving on. If I'm seeming to kind of rush a little bit, it's because I'm not trying to have this video be an hour long. So again, hitting the highlights. Hiawathas. I can't say how excited I am to see these. This, for sure, you've got to get one if you don't have one. These streamlined locomotives have always been a hit with me. They just look absolutely gorgeous. The smooth sides, the colors, and a lot of these were real life, prototypical. What's awesome about this catalog is they're doing them as well with matching passenger sets. Every one of these paint schemes, they're going to have passenger cars with it. I'm already going to know, I'm going to start hearing a lot of people in the comments the prices. These passenger cars are expensive. We're talking $1,400 retail for just a 4-car set. It's one of those that really kind of sucks because that is the price of a locomotive. However, if you're going to get the locomotive, the Hiawatha, you got to get the cars. They're going to be aluminum, which is a plus. And it's saying that they're going to be detailed interiors with figures. So, it's hard. But, man, might you sell that kidney. For me, looking at a few different schemes here, the Hiawatha, I've always really liked the scheme, and I have a sign here in the corner of it. But you know, for me, I'm thinking I'm going to have to go potentially with the Seaboard. So here we have the Chicago Northwestern. The Seaboard, you know, the colors of this, also again, being here in North Carolina, the Seaboard, Atlantic coastline all came through here, sort of the East Coast, and I'm digging it. So I may have to go with that one. The one I think is going to be a huge hit is the hot dog scheme, this Union Pacific. I got a feeling a lot of people are going to order these. So really comes down to your preference on color scheme. I don't think you can miss with any of these, but I would say definitely should pick up one if your budget allows and you don't have one in your collection. You will not be disappointed. All right, moving on to diesel power. A lot of modern diesel in here this time. We got GP9s, which we already knew these were coming out. Metka did a run, Aberdeen, Carolina Western, with a couple of others. So we already kind of knew these were going to be in here. The one thing I didn't expect was these GP9B units. Those are awesome. If you're going to get one, try to get one of those as well added in the scheme. The one I am disappointed they don't have a B unit for is this Bangor and Aerostock. I think that one there is really nice on the paint. It's a really shame that they didn't have a B unit with that. The Conrails are nice. Conrail is very popular right now. Also sort of, I guess it's like a Conrail patch or early Conrail in that black with a CR. I think that's really cool. Then we get into the ES44s. Again, no surprise here. Everybody knew ES44s are coming. Again, Metka had already released sort of their custom run they're doing of the Lehigh Valley. So with that, we all knew they were going to be in here. We all suspected what we thought was the Heritage locomotives. For me, these are all really nice. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily get one or not. If I do, from the offerings they have here, I'd probably be torn between Central Georgia or the Pennsylvania personally. I already have one Norfolk Western. I have a few MTH Heritage units. So the other ones, you know, doesn't really get me too excited. However, on the next pages, we have the CSX Heritage. These I am a little excited about. There's been a lot of controversy in the real life models with CSX, how they painted these. A lot of people were disappointed they didn't paint the entire locomotive like Norfolk Southern did. However, I think that on some schemes, it doesn't look too bad. In particular, I think the chassis looks pretty good with the CSX being painted in the front, and I think as well the Seaboard system looks good. I don't particularly care for the Conrail. The Chesapeake and Ohio, rather, it's okay. The Baltimore and Ohio, I think, is another contender. I think that one looks pretty decent. So, you know, it's really your choice. It looks like they're also going to do, it looks kind of like to me in the artwork that simulated fade that CSX did in the early models that they actually painted in real life. They then switched over to just have a hard paint line between the Heritage and the CSX nose. So your preference. I think they look pretty good. The Seaboard's likely what I'm going to order, possibly a chassis. So, you know, your choice on that, but can't go wrong if you like Heritage. SD45s. They just did a run of the tunnel motors, so we have a couple different road names here. It's not too bad. E6s. E-units are always popular. Not surprised that they're in here again. For me, I'm really digging this Seaboard and General Electric demonstrator set. They're going to be unique. It's going to pay tribute to those locomotives that were demonstrated in 39 and 40, and they had clear panels to show the inside. So Lionel is going to do the same. You can see electronics and motors and boards. Definitely something unique. Definitely something to look cool on display. You do get one locomotive here, looks like that is solid, and then the second one that's clear, and then they also have the B unit. So going to have my eye on that, maybe really consider it. The Southern, of course, what I collect a lot of, would have been another contender, but Jeff, the Train Loft, has some E-units coming out, going with some custom run passenger cars. I'm going to be picking one of those sets up from him here in the next few months, so I'll probably pass on the Southerns this time. Continue with the E6s, a few more, and then and then we get a few passenger cars here, Al Capone coaches. This set here, I think, is really fantastic. It looks good in this just all aluminum silver kind of paint scheme. The Silver Racer here, this Burlington scheme. The only thing I would say here with this model that just to be aware of, they do make a big note here. They're simulated corrugations with the shadow line paint effect. So similar to the ski train cars that I just picked up, and Lionel's done this on some other ones, those sort of rib corrugated sections are actually just paint. Doesn't look terrible with that silver paint. It looks realistic, but just be aware if you do order those what you're going to get. And I got a feeling that the passenger cars are going to be a mix, because just like the ski train, some cars actually have that feature molded into it, some don't. So you're going to get a mix of that corrugation and that silver line trim paint, or shadow line trim paint, I should say. So just be aware of that so there's no disappointments when you go to order. Switchers are back here, SW8s. We have some U28s as well in various paint schemes. Seaboard's pretty cool. They also have that Conrail. And then we get into the sets. We have the Fast Freight set. If you're looking for a good value, you want a Berkshire, you can go ahead and grab one of those. I don't normally buy sets, but this Atomic Energy Commission set to me really catches my eye, and I think it's pretty cool, being that it's going to be glow in the dark. I don't know if Lionel just like came into some kind of cool paint they found, or if they got stock in it or what, but we have the Halloween engines that were just announced as far as the triplex are going to be glow in the dark. Starting to see them include that in some other things here showing up. So this set might be pretty cool to run around at night on the layout. And for the price here, we're looking at $9.99. Again, pre-order, you're probably looking at $850, $900. You got a locomotive here, the GP9, along with a few different cars. Be something pretty unique. Yeah, so I'm going to consider that for sure. We have this Illinois Central set with the E9 unit. Some more passenger cars, Looney Tunes, and then we start getting into rolling stock. Looks like they're bringing back the hot box reefers. These are something they had quite a while back. I see them on eBay quite often. Gives simulated smoke and dialogue and all that stuff. Milk cars. Might pick up the Strasbourg to go with my engine. Might be pretty cool. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to go back here. I think, yeah, so these have the removable roof, and the interior, when you remove that, I've seen them before. They actually have all the milk tanks inside, and it looks pretty neat. So maybe something to consider. A lot of the World War II box cars are coming back. Tons of different paint schemes here. Freight Sounds box cars. These, I think, are great value. They add a lot of realistic noises to the back of a train, the center of a train. They have the chassis. That one looks really sweet. This Lackawanna, this friendship train sort of banner that's on the side, I thought was pretty cool. Gift to the people, starving people, kind of like a food drive sort of deal. That's neat. And then we get in some tank cars, flat cars and trailers. Covered hoppers, looks like a lot of units here that are going to be weathered, so that's going to be really cool to see. I love graffiti cars, things like that, really awesome. Lots of cabooses. The CA1, we got some Woodside here. Box cars, we do have a few Woodside reefers that they're coming out with. 50-foot tank cars. They have a lot of rolling stock in this catalog that I've noticed. A lot of variety too. So that's pretty much it for the Legacy. Traditional O, I don't really collect a lot of that, but you can definitely come through here and see the Doodlebugs are back. They did quite a few different sets, Looney Tunes. They do have a few steam locomotives, some diesels, of course, the little speeders, lots of different cars for those. So I'm going to skip ahead of these because, again, you guys can check it out. Catalog's online, of course. Nothing in here that's too crazy it stands out, but we're going to talk a little bit about holiday sets. Here we have some Halloween cars. Again, these are the wood-sided passenger cars. Lionel typically does really great interiors, really great detailing in these cars. What would be really awesome is if Lionel put Halloween figures in these cars. So Lionel, if you're watching this and you haven't designed these fully yet, put some freaking Halloween characters in here. That would make these absolutely epic. So these would go great with any Halloween locomotive. We have the glow-in-the-dark triplex coming out. But also they just did, slipping my mind, and I'll put it here in the title, but I did pre-order one, so it will be here this year. I'm going to probably pre-order some of these cars to go behind that locomotive. And I think it's going to be a really great match. I'm really happy that they brought those out. And then we get to what everybody's been waiting for, Polar Express. So, big thing here, Lionel is coming out with a brand new set here for a legacy set for the Polar Express 20th anniversary. The Berkshire is going to be in this special maroon paint job. And it looks like they have new tooling on the observation car. So I don't know exactly what changed about the observation car, but maybe it's XMTH. So we'll have to see when it comes out. I did notice up here in the corner they're doing a special 20th anniversary coach. So it likely is going to just have that 20th anniversary logo on it. It does say it's going to be detailed interior with figures, so other than just the 20th anniversary, probably nothing too special versus the other coaches. Go to the next page, you can see all of those passenger cars here. They do have two new ones here with that observation car. Again, the new tooling. They have a black roof and the one with the snow on top. So it looks like the only pure black roof is going to be this new observation car, likely for people to buy and add to the other set. I can't remember if the last release had snow or not, but I'm assuming possibly it didn't, since that's the offering they're giving here. However, when you do come over to the left, you can see the 3 Berkshires you can buy individually. They have the Lionel store exclusive in this, they're calling Plasma Coat Blue. So I'm sure that's going to be this kind of blue, the color shifting, color changing kind of blue, because I can kind of see that purple and stuff here. I bet it's going to look really, really awesome. So, you know, if you guys are wanting something a little bit unique, maybe you already have a Berkshire, have a Polar Express, be something to go with. They also, again, you can buy the maroon separate, and then, of course, the classic. For me, I got to give this some thought. I really want to kind of have that sort of classic Polar Express movie type engine and set in Legacy and O-Scale, so likely just going to buy that, because the secondary market on those are outrageous. But that blue is pretty epic. So if I get one of the other steam engines in a blue scheme this year, we'll skip that. But I think that's definitely going to be a big collectible as time goes on. So maybe something for people to grab and to put on that shelf, enjoy it, run around the layout a little bit, and have a little bit of a nest egg. They are doing as well a Lion Chief set. So, you know, maybe you blew all your other $10,000 on the rest of the catalog. You got to cheap out a little here. You know, I say cheap out. There's going to be some great features with the smoke, with the sounds. You get the passenger sets and all, but you're not going to have that level of detail Legacy, let's face it. This little speeder here is really awesome. It's got the snowplow on it. So I think that's really cool. You may want to consider picking one of those up. And of course, they're doing a Doodlebug as well in the Polar Express. And this Genesis locomotive. I thought that was kind of cool too. So we know we just had the Mickey and Minnie wind-up cars, and they're actually going to do the Polar Express too. I think these are going to be a big one that's going to sell. This is something that you can just have for the kids around the tree, have them wind it up. They can watch it go around, interactive, and I think that's going to be really awesome to add to the collection too. Probably pre-order, you're looking at around $150. They're $200 for the red one here. The gold, it's $230 here retail, so still pretty neat. The Mickey Minnie with the wind-up I've seen in videos, super awesome, something to consider to add to the collection. Rest of the catalog, we have more Polar Express stuff you want to add it, but what I predicted, holiday Hiawatha set. The Reindeer Road, they have the Atlantic shrouded here, they have a complete car set, so you know, RBP Trains, you said last year that the Sleigh Bells Special was the train set of the year. I got a feeling this may be your train set of the year this year. I know you like collecting the holiday trains, so I got a feeling we're going to see him have this and a review if I predict it at the end of next year. So I look forward to seeing that if you pick it up. This one here does look fantastic, and I would love to have one, but, you know, again, we're on a budget. I don't have a Hiawatha, so I'm probably going to go with one of the other road names, but this one here definitely stands out. I think this is a gorgeous set. It's not overly done. That white is going to look fantastic on the engine. Really stands out, really classy looking. They do have a few other Christmas sets in here. A Lion Chief version of that Sleigh Bell Limited you can see here. So if you did miss out on a Legacy set, you can get one a little more affordable for the budget right here, which would be awesome. Make sure my mic's still on. Maybe wrap this up because Topo is upset. He is meowing at me. So rest of the catalog, this is something I'm not sure. Maybe I haven't paid enough attention. I don't look at them too much online. I normally get to print it. Maybe this is online special. I don't know. But there's a lot of pages of still available. So it looks like potentially Lionel has a bit of overstock on a lot of different items. So if you were on the fence or still considering something or want to get it, there's quite a few items left in here that they still have from previous catalogs that I'm assuming if maybe if it's not at your dealer, the dealer can get it. You can talk to them about it or check out Lionel's website, but pages and pages of it. Sets, cars, all that good stuff. So what do you guys think? Is this a banger catalog? Is this overpriced Chinese crap as I see in a lot of the comments? You know, personally, I haven't really had a lot of quality issues with Lionel. I've bought a lot of stuff over the last couple of years. I've had one thing I've had to send back for warranty, and they took care of the entire process. They were fantastic. I got a video you can check out. I got a link here, and I had no problems. Yeah, a couple of weeks out of my life, but no big deal. I had plenty of other trains to run. So, yeah, things are expensive. Everything in this hobby is expensive. It's just the world we live in now, unfortunately. It's the economy with inflation. Plenty of people have done analysis on this, showing that, you know, these prices compared to years ago and what you're getting in addition to the technology and the options and the features, you know, if anything, it's actually probably cheaper than what it would have been. So that's a discussion for a different day. But let me know in the comments what you think, what you may be getting yourself, or was I wrong about anything? What do you think maybe I should get instead, or what would you like to see on the layout? I'm going to be giving this a lot of thought the next couple weeks before I place my pre-order. I'm going to wait till the last minute because over the last couple of years I get a little too antsy. Sometimes I have to change things around, cancel things. That's life, I guess, but I want to make sure I'm happy. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It motivates me to continue to make videos. As well, give this video a like and follow me on Instagram, Gizmo Trains. I post a lot of stuff day to day on there, new arrivals, odds and ends, and just have some fun with people. So I'm going to wrap up this. I'm going to check out Ben's Trains and Eric's Trains this evening on their catalog review and listen to the Miniature Models podcast. I'm sure they're going to have one here very soon. So as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.